So, 2,617 times. That's how often we touch our smartphones, on average, every single day. Constant tapping, typing, swiping, as if the device had become part of our body. But the smartphone isn't the only screen we look at. We wake up in the morning with a small screen, work all day in front of the medium screen, and at the end of the day, we reward ourselves by sitting in front of the big screen while also holding the small screen in our hands. 10 hours. That's our average screen time per day. That's 2/3 of our living, waking life. So we literally spend more time looking at screens than experiencing the real world. What does this do to us? Look at this chart. Sick days due to mental illness in Germany. They've been rising the past 25 years. But in 2007, the curve suddenly shoots up. What happened in 2007 that so profoundly damaged our mental health? The iPhone is what happened. The first iPhone hit the market, and since then, we've been always on. But it's not only the devices that keep us glued to these little screens. It's the symbiosis of hardware and software. Smartphone gave us 24/7 access, and social media, the addictive content. The social media platforms were deliberately designed to trigger our deepest needs. The hunger for social recognition, for status, and for supposedly vital information. The mechanisms are brilliant in the worst way. That little rush you feel opening Instagram, precisely calculated. Variable reward intervals. The same trick that also slot machines use to make us addictive. And the endless scrolling. There's no natural endpoint, no satisfaction, just the hunger for the next interesting piece of content. Dark pattern design is the name given to these manipulative mechanisms that are designed to make us addicted. And oh boy, has it worked. Today, we are connected with everyone, but we've lost the connection to ourselves. But the true scope of this digital addiction only becomes clear when we take a step back and take a look at the bigger picture. Because what happens to you, to me, happens to millions of us, all at once, all coordinated by the same algorithms. And it goes mere addiction, beyond mere addiction. We are being manipulated. And our thoughts, our feelings, through to our actions. The social media algorithms decide what we see, and they love emotionally charged, provocative content. Outrage, controversy. Why? Because that keeps us engaged. More likes, more shares, more comments, more spread. But the algorithm itself isn't good or bad. So here's how it works. You're scrolling. Oh, a cute dog video. You smile, keep scrolling. 3 seconds. But then, an outrageous political post. You stop. You read. You write an angry comment. 2 full minutes. And the algorithm takes notes. Dog, 3 seconds. Outrage, 2 minutes. And guess what you'll see more of next time? And The algorithm, as I said, isn't good or bad. It just wants to keep you around. Because more time equals more ads equals more money. With every heated discussion, every angry comment, we are training the algorithm. We're literally teaching our own prison guard to keep us locked up better. An MIT study found that false information triggers stronger emotions than true news, because they are constructed in such a way as to generate maximum surprise, fear, or disgust. Think of conspiracy theories. They are never boring. They're always shocking. So, what no longer matters is evidence but emotions, no facts but feelings. What provides supposedly simple answers to problems? Social media creates each person's own reality, and this creates parallel realities. So one person is scrolling through a feed that shows climate change as a lie, while the other sees posts about the consequences of human-made climate change. One is fed with daily news about criminal migrants, while the other sees success stories of integration. So same country, same platform, two totally different worlds. And our ability for shared discourse disappears. So now you might think, let's just unplug. Digital detox, throw away the smartphones. But that's not the answer. The digital world isn't going away. It's here to stay. And we need to learn to live with it. We need to evolve from a consumer society to a consciousness society, where knowing yourself matters more than showing yourself. We need a fundamental shift in the way we relate to technology and to ourselves. The digital revolution needs an evolution of consciousness, a new enlightenment. Sapere aude, dare to think. Kant nailed it. The first enlightenment freed us from kings and churches. People had a choice. Keep following blindly or start thinking for themselves. Today's tech giants are more powerful than any king ever was. But they are sneaky. They don't say, obey us. They say, join our community. We're your friends. And that's way more powerful than any king's command. Because how do you fight something that feels like your own choice? We need a new enlightenment. In the past, people used to obey from fear. Today we obey for comfort, for that next dopamine hit, that next like. We need a new enlightenment. The old enlightenment said, use your reason, don't follow blindly. The new enlightenment must say, think autonomously and live consciously. So yes, sapere aude, dare to think. But also, conscious esse aude, dare to be conscious. So knowing all this is great, but it's like reading notes without ever touching an instrument. And that's where future skills come in. These skills decide whether we master technology or become mastered by it. They are the foundation for the new enlightenment. The following 7 skills, they work together like gears in a machine. They are your navigation system in a world of constant change. So first, mental autonomy. It starts with the question, is this thought really mine? Is it based on my values? It's thinking for yourself. It's the foundation. Every other future skill builds on it. Second, critical thinking. The art of not believing everything you think or everything fed to you. Ask yourself this question. Is this true? Who's saying it? Why? And what's their angle? 3. Emotional intelligence. Reading emotions, yours and others. Not just reacting to them, but understanding them. 4th, creativity. Moving beyond the obvious. Asking, what if? Moving from consuming to creating. 5th, lifelong learning. Stay curious, think flexibly in a world of constant change. 6th, resilience. So picture a tree in a storm. It bends, but it doesn't break. That's resilience. 7th, regeneration. The art of conscious pausing in a world that never sleeps. Because new ideas, they come in the quiet moments. Your brain needs downtime to reorganize and recharge. So how do we develop these future skills? There's one powerful way, and it might surprise you. We are at a tipping point in human history. ChatGPT launched end of 2022, and machines gained for the first time access to humanity's superpower. Our language. Language isn't just a way we communicate. Through language, we think. Through language, we understand. And through language, we can change ourselves. Language is the interface of our consciousness. So, machines can no longer just process information, but they can influence the way we think and we feel. And this combination is dangerous because it hits a society already weakened by social media. And we are at risk sinking even deeper into digital dependency. An MIT study shows those who use ChatGPT unreflectively show reduced brain activity. But there's a different path. We can use large language models differently, not just as productivity tools, but as mirrors. So, when we engage with large language models consciously, they can become a powerful path for transformation. So, for cultivating awareness, self-reflection, and empathy. So, those who engage with large language models very consciously for counter-arguments, self-reflection, and new perspectives, they can actually train their own thinking. So, don't just ask for answers, make AI your sparring partner for these future skills. Because technology isn't good or bad. It's an amplifier. It can amplify our worst impulses or our best. It can make us dependent or live more consciously. Remember where we started? 2,617 touches, digital addictions, algorithms that direct our attention. But we've seen there's a way out, a new enlightenment, new skills, and yes, even AI can help us evolve. I call this path becoming an influencer. The idea is simple. When algorithms become better at human tasks, We need to become better at being human. The AI stands for artificial intelligence, but also for the eye that gets aware of itself. Influencer doesn't influence others. They influence themselves, shape their own growth. So, does ChatGPT make us dumb or finally human? That's not the question. The real question is, will we let it make us dumb? Or will we use it to become more human? Because the algorithms won't stop. The screens won't disappear. The manipulation won't end on its own. But we have something more powerful than any algorithm. Our consciousness, with the ability to choose. So you have the knowledge, you have the tools, and you can start right now. Unplug from the algorithm and become an influencer. Thank you.